Thanks for tuning in to the hottest talk radio show around, providing an open discussion for some of the most important social issues and trending topics today. From personal growth or spirituality to sex and relationships, no subject is ever taboo. So prepare to be empowered, enlightened, and entertained during another episode of the award-winning Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Real people, real topics, real talk.
Thanks for tuning in. This is Will Strayhorn. You're just tuning into Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends on WODU. I'm in the studio. Nikki threw me off. I'm sorry, y'all.
I was wondering.
I'm in the studio with Paula B.
Hey.
Nikki Curry, the ultimate distractor. Miss Jada Carson, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. And my better, nicer half, Mr. Justin Gravely. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I have, as you said, a sinus cold, which nobody can seem to find on the internet.
We have never even heard of that.
A sinus cold.
A sinus cold.
It's when you got a cold and a sinus, you add it together, a sinus cold.
I think.
Oh, so you invented it?
Where are you from?
Martin's.
Martin's.
The country. The country.
I had said South Carolina because that sounds.
No, it's a sinus cold.
It's a sinus cold.
Okay.
You have a what do I have?
We both have it. We're synced up.
You just have a sinus because you ain't started coughing yet.
I've been coughing.
Oh, you have? Well, you have a
Where you
sinus
been?
cold.
So I have a sinus cold too.
Yes.
Sinus cold.
Sinus cold. Okay.
Well, I can't wait till it goes away. I went to a doctor and they said they told me to take Mucinex and then they gave me a rinse, a nasal rinse.
Flonase?
No.
Was it saline solution?
A saline solution that I let go in one nostril and it flushes out stuff.
Okay,
on the
that's
other one.
disgusting. Like TMI.
It is. I watched him do it. It was
And
like
it almost choked me when.
that's because you're supposed to open your mouth. I forgot to tell him.
Ew, that is disgusting. I would never be able to do that.
Yeah. How's your week going?
It's good. It's good. It's good.
It's good.
A lot of
Jada?
papers due next week.
Next week. What is that? Mitch? What is next week?
Around finals time, they just want all the papers in next week.
Really?
So I'm just writing papers. I'm writing.
Yeah, I have a paper due. I have not even started. I always go in the office to get started, but then I'm on shopping sites and I'm like, I didn't start it again.
You didn't? I was supposed to sign up for summer school. I have not done so yet.
I don't think you've signed up yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Everybody's slacking. So.
Yeah, we're slacking.
What is it? Spring fever?
I don't know. It's something. I don't know why I didn't sign up
My
for
friend
my class.
said we have senioritis again. That's what she says.
Oh, okay.
Senioritis part 2.
Well, I know I don't have no senioritis. I don't even know. I can't even use that. Watch it. I know. Saw that look. What were you about to say?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh,
yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
okay. So, any exciting things going on? You still haven't seen Acrimony, so we still can't discuss that.
But we can discuss it because everybody has. Well, so many people have discussed it with me
really?
thus far, so we can go ahead and discuss it.
Yes.
I probably will go this weekend to see it. I have to work, but I was.
That would be nice. We should get away and go see that out
yes,
of town.
I would love to do that. I was slated to go on this retreat this weekend, and so I'm thinking about doing that as a women's retreat, just to relax and get my.
You did that last year, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
So I and maybe that I got that high on my priority list. If not, we absolutely can do that. Okay. We absolutely could do that because I definitely want to see the movie because
it was good.
The twists and turns that I heard about the movie and the ending is something they said that everybody predicted what was going to happen in the movie and everybody was wrong thus far. Yeah. Nobody got it right.
No.
But they said the cinematography, did I say that word right?
Yeah.
Was poor. Because it looked like he just shot it like in one room.
Yeah.
It did.
Like a shotgun. Like, you know how if a shotgun house go in one way and go out the other way just straight? That's what they were telling me. Because he shot it in, what did you say, 10 days?
Yeah, he did. But anyway, I think it was a pretty good movie.
What did you get out of the movie, though?
I got out of the movie that, and I probably got something that no one got. I just got the fact that it is important to have somebody who believes in your dream. And she didn't believe in his dream. And she allowed her family to whisper in his ear. And then when somebody did believe in his dream, she got mad.
Yeah, that's true. she didn't really stick by her man like she should have.
Yeah.
When you get married, it should only be 3 people in your marriage: you, your spouse, and God. She allowed outsiders to enter in and put down her husband's dream.
Yeah.
And the dream that he had was a multi-million-dollar dream.
Yeah.
And she gave all her
And he kept telling her
heritage
the
away
stuff
to
that he
him.
wanted to do for her.
Yeah. And the family, it's like you going to, we are talking to his ear, but your marriage is crumbling apart too. But she ain't talking about your husband or nothing like that. But you want to down hers. And she brought the chicken, threw it on the table, and showed them, you know, in the midst of it, his dream brought him $85 million. He only gave me $10 million. He bought mama's house back, blah, blah, blah. And one of the sisters said, let's make sure this chick is real. And she put their husband's business out there then.
So let me just ask a question. The question is, when you, I'm just being hypothetical. This is hypothetical. Everybody hypothetical. So I'm just saying that you may not believe in Justin's dream. You see what I'm saying? But one of the things that I've learned, and even like when I go to like retreats or even you see on Oprah, Dr. Phil, that's Justin's dream, and that's just for you because that is your vision for you. He may not agree with it. He may not even want to be involved in it, but that doesn't mean that he's not supportive. You shouldn't hold him accountable because he doesn't believe in it. It doesn't matter what he believes. The most important thing is that you believe in it and that you want to do it. He's going to support you. You understand what I'm saying?
I kind of. How do you support it and don't believe in it?
Because she didn't.
Well, what I'm saying is, don't stop your vision because I don't believe in it.
Oh,
That's
he
not
didn't.
He
right.
didn't.
But
He didn't.
but what I'm saying is that I have unconditional love. I'm in love with you. I don't necessarily want to support that because it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with you because that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
That's what you chose to do. Like if I decided that I want to shovel poop for a living because that makes me happy,
Shovel on.
I'm a shovel. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what I
can.
want to do. You may say to me, Paula, I think that you're better than that. You should do this, thus, and so. I'm not going to support that. Then it turns into I'm going to leave you because this and this and this. No, it makes me happy. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's how we end up getting in trouble sometimes because we get into that, oh, you didn't support me. You didn't this, you didn't that, you didn't this, you didn't that.
No, I don't think support necessarily has to be that you partake in, because he wasn't asking her to do anything at all. He just wanted her to believe in him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I believe in what you're doing.
But see, when she didn't see anything happen, she got antsy and upset.
And she left.
And then she was spending a lot of money investing in the company. I guess she just got impatient. And he was like, I know it's going to work. I know it's going to work. I just need you to believe me. He said, when I get it, I'm going to buy you this, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. And then she let her family,
Well, to that, to me, that's her. She needs to take accountability for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm going to believe you. I'm going to say it because I'm a very patient person. More patience than most. That you understand what I mean? But the thing of it is that, yes, she got what she deserved then because you were not patient enough to wait to see what's going to happen. Even if you're doing something that it fails, it just fails.
Yeah. You
understand what I'm saying? Okay, you tried it. It didn't work. It's forward movement. We patient and wait. You successful. Hey, I'm gonna spend that money.
So let me set this up for you. Okay, and if anybody watched the movie and they want to call in, make sure you call in at 757-683-4405. So a young couple, let's say it was a young couple, and tell me if I'm missing something. A young couple, he's always had this dream ever since college. He's been working on it diligently. She inherits money from her mother who passed, $350,000.
I know exactly what she.
She ends up buying him a car because he needs a car. Buy him some equipment because he needs equipment. The balance is slowly going down. Comes to the fact where she has to put up the house to help invest more in the company. For whatever reason, they default on that, so she loses the house, the family house. And the sisters and her sisters are talking in her ear that he's a loser, blah 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 blah. Get rid of him, and then, out of a coincidence, they find a wallet right in the truck. Yeah. And because he had cheated with this girl prior to them being married, she thinks automatically that he cheated again, which he did not cheat again. And she's like, I want it to be over. So, he was like, no, let's he doesn't want the relationship to end, but she's adamant that she wants the relationship to be over. So, like, go fast forward a couple months or whatever. The girl who works at the company gets the guy interview with the man to look at his invention, and they buy it for so many millions of dollars.
First, they offered him $800,000, and he turned it down.
He turned it down,
and she got mad.
That's when she divorced him.
That's when she got mad because her mama's house was going to get in foreclosure. And he said that they had put in way over $300,000. So $800,000 more nothing. When you spent all this money, it's like you basically gave your dream away. And you would lose all your rights, so he wouldn't have heard nothing. And the company knew that his invention would bring in millions, but they want him to sell everything to them and turn over his rights.
For
so
$800,000.
his name would,
which he denied.
That's some Shark Tank type stuff.
Which he declined, and she got mad. So that's when she said it's over, and she ended the relationship and filed for divorce. They were divorced. The girl that helped him got him an interview with the man to look at the device, and they liked it, and they basically ended up giving him like so many millions of dollars.
It was like $75 million.
Yeah, and then out of the kindness of his heart, he went directly to her job, to Taraji's job, and gave her a check for $10 million.
$10 million and paid
and gave her the
mama's
keys
house
back to her mom's house. And
that was awesome.
And left and went back because he was already with the other girl. And I guess Taraji went to the house, had it out with the sisters or whatever. And I guess in her mind, she thought they were getting back together because I guess maybe he gave her the money or whatever. Well, really, he was just doing the right thing. So she goes to his big penthouse that he said he was going to always have. Everything that he said he was going to do, he did. And of course, he has a new woman, the woman that supported him. So she's upset over that. Does she have a right to be upset?
Who, Taraji?
Yeah.
No.
And then she tried to sue him.
She tried,
Absolutely
because she said
not.
that's her life that she's supposed to have.
She took him to court and said
No,
she
that's
gave
not
him
the
all
life
the
that
money.
you're supposed to have.
You didn't believe in the life.
You didn't. You gave it up because you gave it up because you. I mean, I understand her fear because her fear is that I'm dishing out all this money and I'm losing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm losing. I'm not getting any return. I'm not seeing any return. Plus, you already had like a tainted past already because you cheated. So then all of a sudden, I see this wallet. So of
He didn't
course,
cheat. They really went together when he got caught with that woman. They was on a talking term. They never agreed that they was
They
dating.
were dating. They weren't married. They were dating.
So that
they
means hold up, huh? So he cheated
before they were married.
Before they
when
were
they
married.
were in college. Yeah.
And he was dating Taraji at the
he was
time.
dating Taraji.
Okay.
So that doesn't.
So I mean, that hurt is still there. That memory is that memory. You know, the hurt probably is going, but it's that memory, and then that familiar spirit came back of that hurt. Oh, he's probably doing it again. But she assumed. But of course, you don't you have something that's making you see. Oh, he's probably back to his old tricks again. But no, she did not have the right to do that. She did not have the right to want her old life back. But I understand her fear because she has the money. He's just spending it because she is believing in him. You know, all this time because she's giving out her cash. She mortgaged up the house and all that stuff. So in essence, she was believing him at that whole time. But her fear for me overtook her rationale of thinking like, is he really going to make it?
And she allowed those other people
and
to
she
be
allowed
in her
other
ear.
people in her ear. Exactly. So with the combination, that's probably why she left. And that's why she did what she did. But she didn't have the right to go back and be like, yo, now this is the life I was supposed to have.
Because he came, but he didn't have like the judge said, he didn't have to give you
nothing.
That money. It wasn't court ordered or anything.
Right.
He just gave her $10 million.
And I would have been happy with the $10 million.
Wasn't the divorce already settled by now?
The divorce was settled.
So, what did she
take that as a gift and
because
go buy you some products.
He said he was going to buy Taraji a boat named, what was it?
Whatever his last name was.
Yeah, whatever his last name was, Mrs. whatever.
Well, he can she can buy the boat with $10 million.
But let me ask a question, though. Let me ask a question. And my question is, even though, for her defense, even though she did what she did, do you think that he was totally understanding of where she was coming from? And why did you left me because I didn't believe in your dream?
If you would see the movie, I mean, because
there was probably more factors than that.
Yeah, it was.
But I'm sorry, but she left him though, right?
Yeah, she left him
and put him out. He was living in a homeless shelter and all this kind of stuff. And then the woman that was at the business asked him where he was because he came for an interview. He said, "I've been staying in a homeless shelter," and she was like, "No, come and stay with me." And then she worked things out.
So, do you think that she had a hidden agenda?
No.
Because the first time she dissed him. when he first saw her, saw that she worked there.
Yeah,
She was real dismissive of him.
she to me, it took a while before she actually
Because she was
got
watching the
interview.
videos, right?
Yeah, she was watching all his videos and all of that. Even when they met up to have their lunch and went out to talk about it, he had told her that he was married, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she had no hidden agenda. I think she took up a good opportunity. You put this man out. You dissed him. You put him in a homeless shelter. You still didn't believe in him because of your family. And you gave up on a good marriage because of your family. So your trash was somebody else's treasure.
Right. I mean, everybody's trash. That's what I mean. I was always taught that another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Well,
but the thing of it is that do you think that he was not right to give her another opportunity? He didn't love her that much to give her another opportunity.
Boom. Yeah.
Boom.
We have Facebook comments.
What is
it?
Where are the
What is it
comments?
saying?
It just sounds like it's her problem.
Please discuss acrimony because I have yet to see.
Oh,
You
really?
see y'all spoiled the movie.
Really?
Christy.
You guys,
Krista
what are you
Lake
guys
Drive,
waiting
Krista.
Oh,
for?
Krista, that's what she said.
She said, I see you, Paula B.
I
What are
see you,
y'all
boo.
waiting
We have
for?
Denise Ward Barnes, radio host. She said, I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, we're just. I haven't seen it either. I
Right.
haven't seen
I'm
it.
just
either.
going off of what they told
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, so you guys been following Khloe Kardashian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Poor Khloe. Poor Khloe. Do you feel sorry for Khloe?
No.
Okay.
She's my favorite Kardashian,
for-
but do I feel sorry for her? No, I saw it coming.
Okay. Okay, so people who don't know, she's dating Tristan Thompson.
Yes.
And he was spotted over the weekend, but these are the three things. Kissing a brunette in New York City over the weekend. Plus, also, he had surveillance footage of him kissing or touching a woman in Washington, D.C. back in October. And then she was also seen leaving the hotel room the following morning in the same clothes. And let me see. She's, Khloe's prepping to give birth to a baby girl in the next 2 weeks.
So he's doing all
In
of
the
this.
next 2 weeks,
Yes.
yeah. And Saturday night he had that episode, and then there was a couple weeks ago the woman in New York City, and then the girl in D.C.
He busy.
So he's a serial cheater. They
Yeah,
say.
he's busy.
And then over the weekend, also his ex, who's Jordan Craig, who he left when she was pregnant for Khloe. So it's a little bit of karma going on because now Khloe's pregnant and he's stepping out on
Exactly.
her.
That's exactly what I was about to tell you. Well, he kind of showed his true colors
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So you're trying to commit to a man that already did somebody wrong to be with you.
Exactly.
I saw it going wrong already.
She
But I knew
posted-
that she was gonna. I knew she was gonna try to make a new life with him though.
Who, Khloe?
Yeah,
And Lamar did the same thing, cheating on her.
just about.
So the ex-girlfriend posted, if you respect yourself and you respect others, you will not make light of the misfortune of anyone, nor would you feel indemnified when it comes at their expense of anyone else. So I'm wishing peace for everyone else. Amber Rose, she made a big post on social media saying, I know we've had our differences in the past, but my heart is broken for you, sis. SMH, no one deserves to feel that pain, especially during such a sensitive time. God bless you and your baby. And she put the little heart emoji. So I want to know, do you guys think it's a little karma playing going on? And also, do you think once a cheater, always a cheater? Should she have seen this, expected it?
Well, I mean,
I can't say that for all circumstances because it's different in certain circumstances. But like, this isn't the first or the last girl he's done this with.
Yeah.
And he is an NBA player, and he's at the prime of his career. So I knew he wasn't. It didn't look like he was ready to settle down anyway.
And I think she thought he was.
Yeah.
probably because of what he told her.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's what people forget. I'm going to stand true to this. It's not.
This your mantra. Yeah,
Yes, that's my mantra.
Yeah.
The thing of it is that it's all in what you told her.
Yeah.
She believed what you said. You
Yeah.
did the dog and pony show for her. You told her it's going to be this, and this, and you know how she feels about you. So you're telling her that you're in love with her. She's telling you I'm in love with him. We're going to have this big happy family, live in this white house with the picket fence and all of this stuff. You should have just told her, I just want to lay up with you. I just want us to be together this time, and this time, but I want to do this, thus, or so over here. So she could have planned accordingly. You didn't do that. and that's what you should have done. But once a cheater, always a cheater. I'm gonna say not always, not always. But the thing of it is, because when you start getting old, you can't be cheating like that.
Lord.
Because my girlfriend sent me this.
You're right.
It was Krista. Krista sent me this.
I sent my card back.
This little post, and it had this old man in there, and he had this scrubby beard and no teeth in his mouth, and he was like, "Now I'm ready to settle down." The guy was like 100 years old. You see what I'm saying? So the thing of it is that you had all that surveillance camera following, but you already knew what type of person he was when you were dating him. So you wasted your money, you got your heart broken, and you already knew because that's how you got him.
And I know she's feeling it because she's had fertility issues in the past. So now
and she's last I heard she was having early contractions.
Was it because of this?
Yeah. Which was later the day, because her mom and them are flying to where she is.
Well, I'm sure that her heart is broken because her last relationship didn't last as well, and then they're all out in the public eye, all their business and relationships are out in the public. But the thing of it is that at the end of the day, at the bottom line is that she probably knew that he was lying all the time, but wishing that she would be the one that he would settle down with and to change him. But you can't change anybody.
So do you think, like, I'm big on, like, energy, how people say that you attract things to yourself.
Yeah.
So if she's always attracting people who cheat on her, does she own any part in that?
No. I mean, I don't agree with that because that's like people say you attract guys that when you in an abusive relationship, you always attract that kind of person. But you don't know that he's abusive until you guys really get into I don't know.
Well, I'm talking about if you keep attracting this same type of person.
But look at the circle that they run in. The circle that you run in, everybody's doing everybody. That's their life.
So you need to change your circle.
You need to change your circle. Go to the grocery store and find you a guy.
Go to church.
Huh?
Got me a good old church.
You don't want to go in there.
Go to the country church.
Yeah, go to the country church where you can get a sinus cold.
A sinus cold. Exactly.
Sorry, Justin. Look.
I hope y'all got a ride home tonight.
I forgot.
Not even that age. You can't remember.
Anybody had anything else you want to talk about? What did you see?
Well, let's talk about this Donald Trump's lawyer's office getting raided.
Oh, yeah.
And he tried to say they basically like broke in or something, which the FBI can't break in. If they have a subpoena or to come in your office, they're gonna come regardless. But he trying to
can't wait to see what they find.
They're trying to say that he trying to say they broke in the office.
And he said it's a witch hunt. I saw that, right?
And that he gonna make sure something is done about it. To me, I think he know in his lawyer's office, he knows Stormy Daniels' story is true. He have not said nothing bad about this woman on social media. Normally, if you say anything about Donald Trump, he will bash you in a moment.
Yeah.
He have not said her name. He have not spoken her name. Now you mad because they got inside your lawyer's office to where your lawyer supposedly paid her 2 weeks before you ran for president. I believe all that was in the lawyer's office, and then all that's going to come out because the contract was with the lawyer.
Well,
and I don't believe the lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the contract was with the lawyer, and I don't believe the lawyer was smart enough to take the contract out of the office.
Well, I think that they were saying, too, I thought that I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that he said he gave the money to her, but actually he was using it for the campaign funds for Donald Trump's campaign. That's what I thought I heard.
The attorney?
The attorney, yes. That's what I thought I heard. But, he was tweeting like crazy. They're saying that he is like beyond angry at this point because they're doing like this massive witch hunt with his attorney. But the thing of it is that he's saying that they've been after him from day one. They're going to get him out of office one way or the other. One way or the other, they're going to get him out because they, with the Putin thing, and now with this thing, and then he was up for charges for raping somebody else. You got to be kidding me. You know what I mean? And the guy's hair is like the flying nun, but I just had to. But the thing of it is that he has just caused a lot of havoc in the White House, and we can't even get to the issues because of all the things he's doing. And he draws more attention to himself with all that tweeting. But when I saw her interview, I thought they had this lavish, hot, romantic affair. she was like, they was only together one time, and that was it. So does that constitute as an affair? But you gonna bring her in the house where your wife is at and talk about, oh, my wife is right down. She's in this room, but we're gonna go 2 doors down. But you're gonna go anyway.
Was she supposed to be there?
Yeah, she was there.
Whoa.
And it's in a magazine or something where the wife went on and confirmed that, she knew that it happened.
The first
No,
lady.
maybe it wasn't her. It was the Playboy bunny.
Melania.
Yeah, she said some of this stuff did happen with him cheating and all of that. It's in the magazine.
So they really don't have a marriage, really.
No, I believe
they
it's
don't
staged.
You talk about
Melania and
Melania, no.
It's staged.
She looked at him like, if I could stab you at any moment, I would. She looked at him like she cannot stand him.
Like if I'm a poison.
Yeah.
Really?
You just I'm a poison.
Like, I slept with you one time to get this baby because I need to make sure I'm locked in to get them coins.
Right.
Other than that,
Mom
there's
tells me
curtains
that
for
all
you.
the time.
And then can you imagine sleep with
Slow
him and then that
music.
hair falling in your face? You
Was
probably
it slow
thinking
music and
slow music and flower bringing?
oh Lord, okay.
Oh my God. So, I mean, it's just a big chaotic mess. But, they're gunning to impeach him. And I think, look what they did to my boy Bill Clinton because he was Monica
yeah.
Lewinsky, and they set him up because she had the little dress with the little stuff on the dress. You see what I mean?
Stuff.
The
Yeah.
sticky stuff. And I said sticky stuff. I didn't say anything else. And look all that they did to that guy. And he was like, I did not sleep with that
woman.
girl.
He said woman.
Woman. I did not sleep with that woman.
And did.
And did. So what about Bill Cosby?
I feel sorry.
Y'all know that I have to.
They're gonna get him.
Because he paid him $4 billion.
When I watched CNN,
That's gonna be sad too.
They were saying that if they would have retried him 3 or 4 months ago, they probably wouldn't have a case. They have a case now, and it's more prevalent now and under scrutiny for what he did because of the Me Too movement. They timed it perfectly because if that Me Too movement wasn't so active and hot right now, probably not. But now,
what the witnesses?
There's more witnesses coming up, but because now they're going to be more in tune to what they're saying because of the Me Too movement. But the thing of it is that gets me upset with Bill Cosby is that, and I don't mean any harm. When I seen a girl, I mean, whatever they did, whatever she consented to or didn't consent to, whatever. But when I seen her come walking down the hallway, I was like, that looks like Howard Stern. I thought it was Howard Stern. But that girl looks, have you seen her?
Yeah, I saw her.
She looks like Howard Stern. That curly hair and everything, she looks, I mean.
But the ones now are different, aren't they?
They're different.
Yeah, it's different people coming out now. But I still think at this point, they should not charge him. The man has dementia for one thing.
I don't know if that's going to get you off. If it's
No.
I mean, the guy's 80 years old.
You have to be in a good mindset to stand trial. If his family was smart enough, they would actually say, how is this man going to stand trial? Dementia people don't know what's going on. I work in a dementia unit. So to me, how are you going to make this man stand trial when he don't know if he really did it or not? Because their mind is when it was little, now, back then, and all of that. Their mind is all over the place. So what he going to say on stand?
I can guarantee you, if that's a defense, they've thought of it.
So what happened to the guy, what's his name? Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. He went on TV and was like, I'm going to rehab because I'm recognizing that I have a problem. So I'm going to rehab for it. Haven't seen this guy since he made that statement. But you want to take Bill and crucify him in the media and make him stand trial. Why can't he have a reprieve like Weinstein and just go to rehab for what he's done? And plus, I'm in agreement with Justin. The guy's 80 years old. He can hardly see. He's old now. What are you going to get out of it? Because when you were up,
I think they want everything.
But the thing of it is that for me, when you go to somebody's house like that and you know his wife is in there, that's not the first time you had sex with Bill. It wasn't. That wasn't her first time, I don't think. And the thing of it is, you know what time it is really when you get in there. You're not going in there just for just to get information. You know that you're going to have to put out. Right, audition. Just to audition. Because you know what comes with that audition. I'm not saying that it's right, but if you had morals and values, you would have never went there in the beginning. But you were looking for something, and you know that you know what that world entails and what you have to do to get where you want to go. What did she want to do anyway? Play sports? Because he couldn't help her with that. Did she want to be an actress or something?
Who knows?
I don't know, but I think they need to leave Bill Cosby alone.
Well, I was hoping they weren't going to bring it back up.
Me too. I'm just mortified about the whole thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did you guys see Saturday Night Live with Cardi B?
Cardi B?
Yeah.
No. I saw the picture everywhere.
Yeah.
And I saw her, I guess she was being interviewed, and they were questioning her about...
That baby bump.
Yeah. And she announced, that she was pregnant, but they were saying that because she's only 25, that her career is going to be over.
Yeah, that's the main question that they had. They think that everybody thinks in media that she's going too fast.
Yeah. Okay, so I had that actually as one of my topics. And she had an interview, and she clapped back saying that she's a grown woman, she's a millionaire. She said not to be, and she said to be humble. I am a millionaire. She said she's money savvy. She's engaged to her baby's father, and she's not dumb. But I want to know, do you think that she's being naive and feeling like she can have all of this at one time and handle it?
I think she's playing
I think
smart.
she's hot right now.
Yeah, I think she's playing it smart for right now, but she...
You don't think the baby's going to slow her down?
It's kind of the similar thing with Chloe. Not really, but it kind of is, because, like, he cheated on her, too, but she took him back.
Who, Offset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like...
I mean, in today's society, women are having babies, working, have amazing careers. That's not going to slow her down.
She's playing it smart.
I don't know if she's going to still be able to do all that Cardi B in. If she,
probably not. No, she probably not going to be able to do that. I'm sure she probably take a little hiatus.
Somebody else going to come up and be Cardi B, ain't it?
Well,
like in the games, like you got to hit it when you...
Nicki Minaj's album is coming out in 6 months. I can't wait.
But that's
Isn't she supposed to be pregnant, too?
This is what she did about 3 months ago on her social media. She said either y'all want the baby or y'all want the album.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people commented that they want the album. So I think she's working on another album.
But that's just like Boys to Men when they took that long hiatus.
They couldn't come back.
They couldn't come back.
Yeah.
You can't take a hiatus like that.
Cardi's hot right now. I would have focused.
But with modern technology, she could just still lay
Yeah,
down, drop stuff,
she still can do
and be relevant while she's...
I don't think
maternity.
it's going to stop her. I think it's going to push her even further. Because she knows she got to bring that money home to take care of the baby.
I don't particularly care for her, but...
You don't like Cardi?
You don't like Cardi?
Why?
Because I think for right now, it's just like...
you think she ignorant?
I can't understand what she's saying, but to me...
I don't know what she's saying.
I think it's just for a season for her.
Exactly.
I don't think it's a long career for her.
That's why I don't think the baby was a good timing.
No, it's still a good timing. You gotta get it out the way because you never know when she can get pregnant again. So I'm glad she want to have her baby.
She's only 25. She's younger than you.
Yeah, she's younger than me, but hey,
you are funny.
It was in God's plan for her to have it.
You can't throw him in everything, Justin.
Throw him in the gravy and everything.
Let her have her time, her season. Let her have her baby. She can save from her baby bed.
Yeah, and who are we to say when she can and cannot have a baby and what's good for her?
Just talking from a business point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, she got more coins than all of us.
If it's working for her right now, it's working for her. That's all I say. But that's like the first question. I see her on like all the
Look
radio
at Beyonce. She
the first question they asked.
Beyonce was Beyonce way before she had her kids.
And Beyonce, her name speaks for
I'm sure
itself.
Beyonce is hot enough that she could have had a baby if she wanted to.
That's the first question everybody asked her. Do you think you're going too fast? And she said nope.
But what was she gonna do? Abort the baby?
No, just wear a condom probably.
Maybe they planned it.
They didn't plan it.
No,
now maybe she's trying to trap him, being that she know he got a wandering eye, but I've never known that to trap anybody.
I don't think they planned the baby, and he already has
that
two little ones
don't
running around.
People.
I don't believe she's trying to trap him either.
Just careless, probably.
Yeah, I think it just happened naturally.
It just happened.
But we'll never know.
She don't seem too
like
bright.
the brightest crayon in the box.
Oh, she doesn't look like the sharpest. She's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Ooh, Cardi B.
All of those. But you know what? We're going to introduce our first guest who will be calling in soon. Her name is Antoinette White. She's affectionately known as Tony. She's a dynamic speaker, coach, trainer, and author of Who's Protecting Me. She's traveled to Accra, Ghana, and across the U.S. speaking to women, girls, and the organizations that support them, motivating audiences to create individual plans to stay resilient no matter how trying times comes. So she's going to call in. I watched a couple of her videos. She's really good.
Okay.
She really is, yeah.
Is that her?
Hopefully not. We'll see. But make sure you're watching that to see if she calls
Yeah,
in.
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. This cough is killing me.
Not sure if that's her or not.
I need some tea.
But your call?
Yes, it's awful.
So anything else? I have a whole bunch of stuff we can talk about, but I don't want to get a big conversation started before she calls in.
Find something really light then.
Really light? I don't have light topics.
Okay,
You know that.
I want to talk about this real quick. Did y'all hear about the woman in Russia who was bombed alive? They gave her the wrong medication. Instead of giving her what she needed for her surgery, they embalmed her,
What?
and she died within 2 days.
Sure, they keep putting embalming fluid in her. That was terrible. That was a bad mistake.
Yeah. Okay, I believe our first guest is on the line. Please help me welcome to the show, Miss Antoinette White. How are you?
Welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing well. I just introduced you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We were just talking about you traveled to Accra, Ghana, and across the U.S. speaking to women and girls. What's your message that you share?
Don't let your past pain define you. And to the young girls, I let them know that your past doesn't define who you can become. And if you're going through abuse, you're not alone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good message. Good message. And why does that message resonate with you?
Because I'm a survivor of sexual abuse.
Okay.
And I'm also, a survivor of my sister being murdered in front of her children. So I speak on domestic violence as well.
Wow.
So I could have been stuck in the past pain, but I took my pain and made it my purpose.
Awesome.
All right. Hi, Annette. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. This is Paula. Why is sexual abuse taboo in the black family and in churches?
I find that it's taboo because it stems from like our grandmama days and her parents' days that you just don't talk about it, right? And it comes from a place of being shamed and not being dealt with.
And that is so true, because I think that in a lot of families, a lot of people have experienced some sort of sexual abuse, and it does follow you through your adulthood, especially if you don't have an opportunity to talk about it.
Deal with it.
Yeah,
Right.
to deal with it.
Hi, Annette. This is
I just want to say also with my upbringing, you find that, I'm not sure if it's changed much. Also in churches, they think you can just pray it away, right? So we wasn't so prone on counseling. You can't just pray certain issues away. Yes, prayer helps, but that child needs counseling, and that child needs someone to talk to.
That's true. Hi, Annette. This is Justin. At what age should you speak to your child about sexual abuse?
Well, because I was a victim of it, I started talking to my children right at school level. As soon as they start kindergarten, listen, if anybody touch you in your spots where you wear your trunks, you come let mommy know. So if you was to ask me what age I think children should be taught, the moment they start school, because most sexual abuse happens at the age of 6.
Okay.
Oh, at 6.
Oh, I
Oh
didn't
my
know
God.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
can relate to
abused
that.
from 6 years old to 12 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is around the time when I had mine as well, between about 6 and 12, 6 and 11. But okay, I read when I was researching your information, you said that black families, we should stop telling our kids to stop telling what goes on in this house. Stop not telling what goes on in this house. I remember you.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, and that article is also featured in MadameNoir.com and CurlyNikki.com.
Okay.
Again, it stems from, it's generational, right? So my mom said it to me, and I found that I indirectly said it to my children. So what we're doing is when you tell your children what goes in this house stays in this house, what you're teaching them is to keep a secret, right? Yes, you don't want your child telling all your business. So I think another way we can relay the message is there's no secrets with mommy, okay? And I don't care who it is. When you say what goes on in this house stays in this house, so if a child is being abused, now they ashamed to tell it or they scared to tell it. because certain children can't decipher the two.
Exactly.
Maybe an older child can, but most younger kids say, well, mommy said, well, now a prime example I give is I taught my boys the same thing because I went through a separation, right? So I'm like, don't tell your daddy what's going over here. He don't need to know what's going on in my business. I don't need to know his. Well, in turn, when my son came home, I was like, I'm going off. You about to be late for school? Why aren't you getting ready? He said, I haven't had a shower in 2 days, right?
Oh, wow.
Well, I didn't know that the electricity was turned off. Why? Because I instilled in them, don't tell me what's going on in your daddy's house.
Exactly.
So we're doing our children a disservice.
And you know what's difficult when you have to be around a family member that you know that sexually abused you, and you have to just act normal because you're
Right.
keeping a secret, and you have to. That's a very difficult thing to do because that memory is always popping in your mind, even as an adult. How do you deal with
Yeah.
that, and especially if you still haven't shared?
Yeah, that can be difficult, and it can mess with one's psyche, and that can be a lasting effect, like you said, even into adulthood. Like for me, when I first told it, because I was abused by my father, right? And because I was ashamed, I was like, Mom, please don't tell no one, right? Because when I grew up, all of the cousins, we'd be at one house. My mom instantly said, no, I'm calling everybody because I need to make sure he hadn't touched anyone else, right? So she called all the aunties and cousins. But in the case where it's not talked about or the mother's telling the child it's her fault, I say that child needs to tell someone. I don't care if it's the pastor, a teacher. Don't keep it to yourself and don't suppress it because it causes other effects. It will have other effects on you.
I would think that at a small age like that, the child would think that they're going to get in trouble, or they would think that they're at fault. Or I know that was some of my reasons for not saying anything, or that I would be blamed for it.
Yeah, or you threaten.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Or God forbid, not believe you. They wouldn't believe you.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So let me ask you a question. What do you do if you see a loved one being physically or emotionally abused?
One of the things that I've learned because I took domestic violence, I'm an advocate for it, is you don't belittle the person. And don't make them think that you can make them get out of that situation. So what you do is say, listen, I'm worried about you, right? And I'm concerned for your safety. And when you're ready to leave, here's the resources. Don't judge them, but you have to come from a loving perspective because it takes 6 to 7 times before an actual person will actually leave abusive situation like that. Right?
6 to
Like I
7
said, my
times, wow.
sister, like we grew up from the hood. We knew how to fight, right? But look what that led her. She's gone now, right? So you just have to keep, because the more you press the person, the more they'll stay in that relationship.
Okay.
So the best thing to do is give them the resources, because if you get with a agency that knows how to handle domestic violence, they'll help them put a safety plan in place. Because the moment, like my sister, you never should announce you're leaving, because 90% of homicides come from the person letting the perpetrator know, I'm leaving you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, this is Paula again. What are some of the signs to look for when you think a child is being sexually abused? I'm sorry.
Yes. Some of the signs, like they run away from home or school, they become overly protective of siblings, they might have nightmares or bedwetting. You might find inappropriate sexual knowledge or behavior. Physical signs, they have difficulty walking or sitting. They may have bloody or torn or stained clothes, bleeding or bruises in the genital area, frequent urinary or yeast infections. They might show signs of self-harming themselves, have trouble in school, become regressive, and changes in their hygiene. That's just a few.
Do you think that when a child is sexually abused, like multiple times, it makes them more promiscuous?
I think different children react differently. In some cases, yes, right? Because that's now, as a child, that's how you see love, right?
Yeah.
And then in some cases, they may go inward, right?
Be the opposite.
Standoffish.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember
And
Oprah
some,
said it made her promiscuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So I think it's individualized.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question. I see you overcame a lot, and believe one thing. And believe that one thing that helped you was your mother and family support. What do you tell a child whose mother do not believe them or tell them it was their fault?
So I think that while I did have my mother's support, I also had God, family, right? So whoever else you may feel close to, I was real close to my fourth grade teacher. If you're close to the Sunday school teacher, the next door neighbor, reach out to someone that you do trust.
Reach out to somebody you trust.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
I
good.
think that's still
Yes.
scary, though,
It is still scary.
is.
Yeah, I agree.
for a young child.
For a young child, because you don't know who to trust.
And you look at older people as a lot of times you're taught that they're the authority figure.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's a very, very touching situation. Even for me, it took me to watch a movie about a little girl being molested for me to know that I was not alone.
really?
Right? And especially if I was being threatened, saying you better not tell it.
You want to know what happened to me? Well, I took Sierra to, when she was little to, we were at Lynn Haven. I took her to this cartoon. I don't know what was, could have been Lilo Stitch or whatever the name of that movie is. And it was all little kids there and their parents. But I just seen like this one old guy in the movie theater, like sitting by himself. And it just creeped me out.
You.
It bothered me. And I still remember it because he's just sitting there just looking around like at all the kids. I'm like, why is he here and what is he doing? It just felt, it just felt strange to me. It just felt, I was uneasy the whole time that I was in there watching the movie because it was like, he was like a predator. I like felt it in my spirit. You understand? I couldn't even watch the movie for keeping my eye on this guy. It was just crazy, the uneasiness I felt with him being in that movie theater. I mean, because you can get that feel about somebody, I think.
That's true.
We all have intuition. One of the things I would share, too, is most perpetrators is someone you know, right, or someone that the child trusts, right? And so even if you think about Simone Biles and the whole Olympics team, right? That doctor had to get trust with the family in order for the parents to leave him alone with the child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So when I go speak in schools, I tell these little girls, you don't need to be sitting on no grown man's lap, right? And when my niece was young, I would tell my mom, stop making her run up to hug these men. They need to bend down to her level and hug her.
Right.
So it's just certain signs. Because I knew I was being abused, you know, what you have to tell the child to look out for.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you can do to prevent sexual abuse from happening in the first place?
The number one thing is talk to your children. It starts at home. And even if you like for me, let me share this. I spoke at a junior high school one year, and then I went and spoke at the school the very next year, which was last year. And so I'm very transparent with my story, right? The one little girl raised her hand and she said, I don't sell my books to kids because I need parental permission. So she said, my sister tried to get a job at the library to find your book. I said, oh, that's good, honey, and shunned her. She raised her hand again and she said, Miss White, what I'm trying to tell you is because my sister heard you speak, she went home and told our mom our stepdad is abusing her. She said he's in jail now. So one of the things I would say is talk to your children, give examples. These kids are much wiser than we were when we were young. Let them watch a movie. Have discussions with them. And like I said, at 6 years old, as soon as they start school, have the talk. There's no secrets from mommy. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the pastor, the Sunday school teacher, your daddy, your granddaddy. No secrets from mommy, especially if they're touching you in your bikini spots or your spots where you wear your trunks.
Right.
That's the number one way to prevent it is talk to your children. Educate them.
Educate them.
Yeah, educate them.
Yeah.
I was told I wasn't, which is true, I was told that I wasn't college material. And how do you persevere if you have negative surroundings or people in your life? But I was told that I was in college material.
For real?
Yeah.
You
and my
too?
daughter was too. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I was too. And so in high school, I had two sets of friends. I had the friends that I hung out with. We went to the skating rink, right? Then I had another set of friends that they were more collegiate level. And I always knew that I wanted more. So when I went to my college counselor and she told me, according to my test scores, I wasn't college material, I felt defeated. When we transferred schools and from Indiana to Georgia, I asked that counselor, I said, can you please put me in harder classes? So what I say is never let no one take your self-worth. And if one way ain't working, try another way. Never let anyone sow negativity in your life, and just keep trying until you get it. Now, it took me 10 years to get my bachelor's, but I was perseverant, and I did it.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, that is true, too, because I was a better college student than I was a high school student, elementary student.
Right.
Middle school. It was just really weird. Like, when I started going to college, the second time when I went, I was like, getting all A's and B's. I mean, if I got a C, I would just start tripping. I was never like that. Like, I worked hard enough that I want to get A's and B's all the time. And I was like, what is the difference with me from going from when I was in high school to going to college? I don't know if it was just older, mature, knowing that I could get A's and B's, at this level, and it was just challenging but rewarding at the same time. So I love going to school. I'm really engaged and do very well with online classes because you have to be so disciplined.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that makes me feel good about myself because I didn't even think I was able to do that because I didn't think I would be disciplined enough. Very disciplined to do my
Once you're
online
paying
classes.
for it, you'll be disciplined.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's different type of motivation, too. You get to space out your schedule. It's
It is. And I was, and I turned all my work in ahead of schedule. So that makes me proud, too. 'Cause I'm a good student.
I think it's that. I think because you're paying for it, number two. And number two, sometimes it's the way they teach it, right? And for me, I'm not a scholastic tester. Even to this day, I'm like, oh, my gosh, right? I got to do this PMP exam, right? So although I wasn't good at scholastic testing, you give me something to study and I got to take a test on, I'm going to ace it. But the SATs and ACTs, I can't stand those type of tests. So there's different type of learning techniques.
Well, everybody learns different anyway.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. So I would just tell a child, never let no one sow negativity in your life and just stay driven.
Right. Antoinette, thank you so much for coming on the show. How can people follow you, and especially if they want to book you to come out and speak to their class or their school?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I think this is an important topic that needs to be talked about, that's not talked about. But you can find me at AntoinetteWhite.com. Instagram, I am Antoinette White. Also on Facebook, I am Antoinette White.
All right.
And my book is Who's Protecting Me?
All right.
I love that title.
Yes.
Who's Protecting Me?
Who's protecting me? Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You do the same. Bye, guys.
It was a great topic, but a scary, taboo topic.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay. Should you wait until you're married to move in, live together, you think? Are you old school? You gonna wait till you're married?
I don't know what the future has in store for me.
Generic.
I say no.
You say
wait.
no what?
You shouldn't wait. And the reason
Like you're trying to shoot.
So you shouldn't wait, or you should wait?
you should not wait. The reason why I say this, if you wait and then you move in, what if they don't clean up like you clean up? Everything can go wrong after you move in. To me, you should at least live together before you get married. That way you can know how each other live, sleep.
Is that a part of the decision to the marriage? Will you marry me question then? Are you getting all this research before you answer the question?
But I disagree with you because there's a lot of people that have gotten married that's been married for eons. Look at the people that in our parents' generation that's been married for like a zillion years, 50, 60 years, and they didn't live together. I mean, they got together on their wedding night.
You know what? I think people need to stop, including myself, be so concentrated on the amount of years, because just because you've been married a long time or been together a long time, I'm always throwing around 16 years. It doesn't mean that it was 16 good years.
That's like super
50
true.
good years. Some
Yeah,
people,
because it
I
hasn't
think
been
one of the
50 good
saddest
years.
things, and it happened in my situation, I think one of the saddest things is for you to be with somebody for 50 years and you either ask one of them, would you do it all over again? They say no. I think that's such a sad testimony.
But you know, there's a lot of people that say no.
Yeah.
Like I have to ask if I can say this word. I work for a large insurance company here, and I sold the Medicare product, and I had called this lady. I tell a story often. I call this lady because we're selling the Medicare product, and I did my spiel and everything, right? So she says to me, I was like, can I speak to, I'll say, Mr. Jones? And she's like, oh, he's deceased. And I'm like, oh, Mrs. Jones, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I called you. You have my condolences. She says to me,
Oh Lord, what
she's
is
like,
going-
sweetheart, don't be sorry for me, because I'm glad I don't think I can say the word, is dead. I was like, excuse me?
Oh,
Because
my
I was
God.
surprised. I tell a story often. She must have been so miserable that she was so happy that her husband died. I've never heard anything like that before. But a lot of things stumped me, but I had nothing to say to that. But for her to say that, I was just blown away. But look how many people have been married for so many years and hung in there and just were unhappy.
Why do you hang in there? For kids, if your kids have grown, I would say probably for comfort. That's one thing. You think?
Some do. I had some people in my family members that's still married to people that abused them and everything else. Some people stay because they was always taught you don't divorce.
Yeah.
Like my dad's side of the family, they don't believe in divorce whatsoever. They believe once you're married, you don't divorce. If you divorce, you go on to hell, brimstones, and all of that. One of my close relatives, husband beat her and everything else. She's still with the person. They've been married for over 50 years. But she was taught by our family, don't divorce. If you do divorce, you have to wait till that spouse die before you can marry again. So I believe that's why most of older people stayed in marriages 40, 50, 60, 70 years, like you said, because they were scared if I divorce them, I'm going to hell if I marry again.
But I think to answer your question, do you think that you should live together before you get married? I say, if you live together before you get married, and then you begin to see a whole lot of red flags. I think that's why a lot of reason that people live together, they be like, nah, we don't need to get married. This is cool like it is already. We don't need a piece of paper to join us together. We're just together. You understand what I'm saying? Plus, it's an easy out as well. But then again, the adventure of getting to know your spouse, you in love with them, but you're not living with them. That's when you really get to know the person, when you start living with them. You know what I mean? I'm not too happy that you left the cap off the toothpaste. I'm not too happy that you drank the last of the orange juice and put the carton back in there. You understand what I'm saying? But those are things that you have to get used to because that's part of the person. So, I mean, I think it's just a 50-50. What do you think?
I think you should. But I think I have a very liberal views, so I think you should. It's almost like an orientation to marriage, what you're going to expect in marriage. And then, like you said, it could be a way out. You know,
Exactly.
I can't deal with this.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can say let's live together.
Yeah.
But then you start seeing all these habits, and you starting to get on my nerves. And
She got a question.
I didn't mean for you to just stop mid-sentence. Questioning you, are you all saying you should get engaged and then live together? Or are you saying live together and then maybe?
I would say
get
seriously dating.
Okay.
what is seriously dating?
Like it's headed towards engagement, marriage.
And you know that you've discussed that. Is that has been discussed and planned?
I don't know if it's been discussed or you just both know. You talk
both
about
know.
the future
Yeah,
and
you talk about the future.
you know we're not casually dating.
Okay. So you know you're working on something serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should move in together. That's
Seems
the
to me
next
that would
step.
be the
That's
next
Yeah.
step exactly.
So do you think a lot of people that move in together that have that next step is get married? Do you think what percentage of people do you think get married that live together? Do you think that's a lot?
I don't think a lot. I think a lot of people get married and they're like, well, this is fine like it is.
But here's the thing. Now I've known people that live together, I'll say for like 5 years. They decide to get married, 6 months later, they get a divorce. How crazy is that? How does that work? I don't understand.
I think it switches from I can do something to I have to do something. It's different than doing something for somebody because you want to do it for them. And then sometimes when you're married, it's just the expectations change.
Yeah.
Even when you've been living together for like 5 years, why would the expectations change just because you got married?
We're not married. In my mind, I don't have to do anything. I'm doing it because I love you and we're together.
But even when we're married,
sometimes when you say I do, you say I do to a whole bunch of other expectations.
But I'm already really married to you because we've been
really married to you.
Well, you know what
married at the heart and married on paper, two different things.
Yeah. And men think differently about that subject opposed to women.
So now we don't want to go there, but now you're talking about the whole submissive thing.
Well, you know what?
Well, no,
yeah, let's.
My next topic is about that. Actually, it's 7 reasons why marriage is on the decline. It's an article by Huffington Post, and they said that as early as decades ago, it was expected that we should all get married, pop out babies, and live in a home with a white picket fence. And they said that that's been ingrained in our psyches as children, but it's just not the idea today, especially with millennials. The pressures of losing one's identity that come with marriage is the number one reason why a lot of people aren't getting married. Marrying for the sake of marrying, that's the number 2 reason. Number 3 reason says there are still too many gender roles in a marriage, which means studies show that women are still expected to do most of the parenting aspects, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, grocery shopping, etc. On top of that, they're expected to work.
That's right.
And they say that's a lot to handle.
It is. It is a lot.
That's true.
Women are working, they have careers, and that satisfy them. Having kids out of wedlock is no longer seen as taboo as it once was. And then the need for freedom. It said, whether as a wife or husband, you need freedom to pursue your interests, hobbies, and social engagements that don't involve your partner. And some people take issue with that.
Yes, that is true.
So their advice is if you're blissfully in love and think that you're among the 50% who will actually stay together, by all means go for it, but please have a long, meaningful talk and often with your would-be spouse about your goals, responsibilities, deal breakers, keeping your identity, etc. before you decide on your wedding china pattern.
And I think, like, from my era to this, what you just said, if we had more of that, we probably wouldn't have the high rate of divorce, because when you get married, you just think that you're married and you do everything that your spouse says, and you see your mother doing this, and that, so you know that you have to do this, and that too. But all the while you're doing that, you're losing your identity. There's so much information out to how to communicate, how to be separate but together at the same time, how you can communicate and everybody understands each other's roles and what the deal breakers are, what is not a deal breaker, but have your own individuality and be together. Like, if that was like my dad's generation, my mom's generation, and mine's, your own individuality, you're married to me. There's no more individual you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now today, it's different. I mean, the rhythm is different in that, and it's more understanding. And I'm gonna let you go out and be free and do what it is that you want to do. Don't look at it like you're out here doing what you want to do, so you must be out here having sex with somebody, having an affair. No, I'm out here doing what I enjoy doing because it personally satisfied my being. You understand what I mean? And I want you to do the same. Don't hold me hostage or in a box because this is what I want to do, because I want to be free. Can you be free and be married at the same time?
Do you think being free can actually strengthen a relationship?
I think so. If both parties understand what that means, it can. I think so, because everybody should be able to do what they want to do and not put in the box and limits, unless you're being reckless with it. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing of it is that if you want to go play bridge 3 days a week because you want to be with your friends and play bridge, you should be able to do that. I shouldn't have to come home, cook, make sure that you're okay, and then go play bridge with my friends. Because if I come home, if I worked all day and I want to come home, change my clothes, and go play bridge, that's what I want to do. But if I have to do all this other obligations, it feels like I'm a kid. I got to do all my chores and my homework first. Then I could go out. Now you're giving me permission to go out and play with my friends. That's not fair. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So I think when it comes to saying, can you have freedom and be married, I think that that's hard. It's hard to find that rhythm, that mixed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't have freedom thinking and flexible thinking, like the things that you just read.
Yeah.
Because that's what a relationship looks like. Because they can sit down and communicate.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't mind. Just like when I go to counseling, at a certain time, like say when you guys get married, at a certain time you'll be like, well, I'm gonna go on a weekend trip. We're gonna go to this event about event planning or a hair show, and I'm gonna go for a weekend. And you'll be like, well, okay, you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go to a mortuary conference. That should be okay because that's what you're interested in, and that's what you're interested in. And I'll see you next week. But she said at a certain time in your relationship, you should be able to do that, and it should be comfort in that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you're not going the way he's looking.
I'm just looking and making sure you're learning. You're learning?
I'm learning the whole lot.
But I'm just, I mean, she made a valid. I mean, when she said that, I was just like, wow, because people do that today in their relationships. Mm-hmm. They're going for a weekend. I'm going on going to a golf tournament for the weekend. I'm going to a knitting conference, and I'll see you when you get back.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, like you were saying, with the generational thing, that's what they saw their parents doing, so they repeat it.
Right.
I think it's going to take me a while. That's what I would want. I would want that, the type of relationship where, you know, we would have our own separate groups of friends. And, you know, we're going on our annual boys trip, see you in a week or see you whatever, and be comfortable. But because in my mindset, when that's from my parents, my mom and dad, it was just them two. That was it. There was no friends. And that's what I grew up thinking a relationship looked like. Mm-hmm. So in my last relationship, that's why I was so, now that I know I was controlling, because I didn't expect them to have friends, because in a relationship, when you get together, you don't have friends. And I've been really intentional with this relationship we've had that conversation about we have to have.
You have to have it.
Outside lives.
Yeah.
You have to have outside lives, because if you don't, then you're going to feel cheated, robbed. You know what I mean? You're going to feel isolated and resentful because here I am. I'm going to this event because that's what we love to do. Yeah. And you're like, no, I can't go because it's going to piss Justin off because Justin doesn't have any friends and he's just sitting here. But that's really not Justin's, I'm being hypothetical, Justin's thing. You know what I mean? So you do have to establish that. You do need to have your own set of friends and do your own thing, because there's going to be some times where he just not want to be interested in do what it is that you're doing. Just like when we go to events, you may not want to go. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? You want to stay home in your little comfies and lay on the couch and, you know what I mean, and roll up in his blanket
some pork chops.
and smother some pork chops.
Yeah.
And call and be like, dinner is ready. Yeah. Because that's what you do. Is that what you do? That's what you do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that that's important. And once you get that established, I think that it will help. It helps relationships.
Yep. Okay. Well, we have another guest coming up. We're going to take a quick commercial break so we can give our voices some rest. But you're listening to Let's Face It. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and friends. We'll be right back.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound. It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event!
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You're now listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. So we were just talking about relationships. I want to continue the conversation with a question. Do you think that you and your spouse or your other half should be best friends? You think it's possible?
I think yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you?
I think you can.
I think you can. You think so?
I think it's possible, but some experts said you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't
because
be.
You can't get everything from one person.
That's
I've heard ministers say that. I've actually heard one of my favorite ministers, Stephen Furtick, out of North Carolina. I heard him say that at the Pastor Leadership Conference with T.D. Jakes, and he has said it quite often on his podcast. You should not be so in tune to one person where you expect everything
from that person.
Because you can't get everything from your spouse, but everything from your mother or everything from your sister or your best friend. You know, you should have multiple
people.
I
can't get everything. One person they don't have it to give.
And then I think it becomes taxing on that person as well.
Yeah.
It becomes very taxing because, you were always taught that you only have like one best friend. And I believe that, but I have several, and I mean several, I can just count them on this hand, best friends. But from each of my BFFs, I get something different. And then when I roll it all together, I get what I need.
Oh, I like that.
And I'm just realizing that now. Because like she said, you can't get everything that you need from that one person. But like what I get from Tish and what I get from Krista, what I get from you, my girls at work, Sarah, Maria, and Jazz, it's and my mom, because my mom is my best friend. Even my daughter, Barbara. Very close. I call her my best friend as well. So I get a lot. And then when you roll it up, because where I may be doing something and I get some discipline from Will, I'm angry with you. You see what I'm saying? But I know what you're telling me is right. I don't want to hear it. I don't like the way it feels. But I can't stand him. That's why. But the thing of it is, he's not right all the time.
All the time.
But
I'm sure eventually I will be wrong.
Sometimes.
Eventually.
Yeah, sometimes. But you know, the thing of it is that
No.
you know it's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's what you need. So I've learned that, like you said, you can't get everything from one best friend.
Okay.
What do you think?
So you don't believe it's wrong to have several best friends, too, like you were saying, because you get. Okay, that's good.
I don't think so. But am I your only BFF?
Mm-mm.
But am I way up?
No, it is all. This is not your case. This is not your case. But it's also possible. Do you think it's possible for somebody to say that you're their best friend, but they're not yours?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that a lot. People who say you're my best friend, and I'm like, really? Okay. Not talking about you.
I was about to. It was going to be like a lot of slow music and flower bringing up in this piece.
You.
That's me. What?
A lot of slow music and flower bringing. He know what time it is. He know what that means.
You know I'm slow. I can't
And
read
you know
lips.
he can't hear.
All of that.
So when I say that you're my BFF, how does that make you feel?
It doesn't mean anything to me because I know I'm not the only one.
Oh. Now he made.
Oh yes, exactly.
So you're saying
exactly, yeah.
So you're saying that it doesn't mean anything to you?
No, because I know your love language. I'm not saying that. But it's not like
my love language.
So you have a love language with a best friend?
Yes.
That goes all your relationships.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know his love
Gifts.
language.
Gifts. Her all day. Here's a pen. She's happy as I don't know what.
Yes.
Like he want me to
And what's your other love language? I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. What's my love language? Besides that.
All I remember
Acts
was
of
get
affirmation
for her. She has to be something with words.
Words of affirmation.
Something to let her know you appreciate her.
And affection.
And affection. Oh yeah.
Touch.
Yeah. Well, just hug, but it's words because I'm always saying, do you love me? Do you miss me?
All that. Words of affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation. I say that all the time. I said it to him today.
But I don't. Now that we're on the air, I can say, I don't like that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you?
What do you mean? What is it that you don't like?
I don't like somebody getting cry. Did you miss me?
I know.
Out of my spirit, my spirit, I want to say no.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Because he is so.
Who says that? Did you miss me?
And I'm just joking. I'm joking all the time when I say that.
I would probably be joking if I said no, but it's just I don't think you should ask people.
But you should. Why you shouldn't ask people if you miss them.
No.
You should just tell them that you miss them.
It's like me.
Yeah, go ahead.
You should tell them I miss you. Even like my family back at home, because they about 5 hours away. I would tell them I miss you. Now if they ask me, Justin, you miss me? I'm like, I'm gonna give you a smart answer. No, I don't miss you.
Well, he says a smart Alec, and Will can be very snooty sometimes. And can't vary and flip mouth. Oh my God. So you're saying that look, I want to get back to the BFF. So you're saying that because I said that you're my BFF, and you said it doesn't mean anything to you.
No, I didn't say that. I think she tried to call. I need to get attention to make
So
sure she's trying to call.
Okay, I'm supposed to be trying not to get a parking ticket, but I didn't know you're supposed to expect, or you should have love languages for just regular relationships.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's all. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
His is gifts too. And
My gifts is on the low.
Yeah.
Mine is personal touch,
affirmation,
quality time.
Oh, quality time.
Yeah.
I like quality time. Like us just chilling.
And acts of service.
And acts of service. Oh yes, him taking the trash out for me.
Acts of service was the top.
That
he didn't
gets
realize
me.
it, but it was the top.
Yeah.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my
got
God.
to tell me you miss me and all that good stuff. None of that good stuff.
Gifts is really low on my list.
And that's low on mine too.
Yeah.
Gifts
I
was
mean,
on the
I'm
bottom.
not materialistic. I mean, I like presents. Don't.
No,
get me wrong.
you're very materialistic, but you're
Well,
not.
no,
You're
I'm
not.
not.
It doesn't have to be anything big for
I know,
you.
but you love gifts.
Yeah, you
I
love
love
gifts.
presents.
Okay, so gifts is on your top radar then.
Yeah.
I just love presents. I like to be surprised. Like you could give me.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be a whole bunch.
No.
Bring your bag of candy. You happy?
Yeah.
And you'll show everybody. Look what you brought.
Yeah. See, that's what we're saying.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
It's
Thank
any
you.
kind of gift, and you have
Yes.
to
Well, you know, our guest is on the line right now. Miss Renita Hunt Giving is the new black. She is the voice behind the socialnita.com blog. She's a marketing communications executive who thrives on empowering, motivating, and inspiring women. Through the course of her vast marketing communications career, Renita has worked with such brands as Home Depot, Ford, Coca-Cola, L'Oreal, Verizon, and McDonald's, just to name a few. Renita is extremely passionate about giving back, women empowerment, and diversity and inclusion. So please help me welcome to the show, Miss Renita Hunt. Welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
Live direct from sunny Orlando.
Orlando
Nice,
in the
my
house.
favorite place.
What's the weather?
It was 85 today.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
beautiful.
That is terrible. You know, it was freezing here. Cold.
It's still cold.
We're not going to get any 80-degree weather until when? Saturday? I think Friday, Saturday.
Saturday is
And then
going
it'll
to be is the pick of the week, so it's going to be 80 degrees. It's going to be the best day.
Yeah. Huh. But thank you so much for taking time out of your warm day to come on the show and talk to us about Giving is the New Black. Exactly what this is. Will, by the way, what is Giving is the New Black? I like that name.
Absolutely. So my passion is fashion, and we all know.
Yes.
Every season, they say, green is the new black, brown is the new black, gray is the new black, as the trendy thing that you need to be wearing for the season.
Right.
So I thought, giving is really that thing that we need to say is that trend that we're doing every single season. And so it's really caught on that, hey, it's the thing I need to do now to propel me, empower me, and empower others in my professional and my career.
Giving. So are you speaking
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
giving in the terms of what is that word? It escapes me. The P word.
Perception?
No.
Oh.
When people put Oprah in their name. Oprah is a big
philanthropist.
There you go. Okay.
Absolutely, but we all can be Oprah in our own minds and in our own world.
Okay.
Sometimes my path to giving, I always thought, I've had this robust marketing communications career. I said, I'm going to be serving the community and on a nonprofit board when I'm 60 years old. Well, I hate to tell you, I'm not 60 and I'm nowhere near 60, but my life changed about 6 years ago when I relocated to Orlando from Atlanta. I took some time off and I said I'm going to start giving back, meeting some folks once a week at a nonprofit that helps women called Dress for Success.
Okay.
I started helping, suiting the women. It's a nonprofit that helps women get back to work. And I just started coming in, shopping with the ladies, helping them get dressed. And I said, wow, this is really fueling my soul more than all the awesome commercials I've worked on, the awesome projects I've been able to be a part of, and some of the heavy hitters in the marketing industry. And so just being around, lending my expertise, I was able to learn a lot about the nonprofit space, but they also needed my talents and treasures. And so I was invited to consider to join the board at that time. And now it's been 6 years, and I've been voted for every position from an events director to VP to now president for 3 years. So it's been a tremendous ride.
Okay.
Hey, Renita, this is Justin. What is the
Justin.
How you doing?
I'm great.
What is the importance of giving back?
The importance of giving back is that not only are you serving others to empower them, but you're going to empower yourself. Exactly. I think that's the great gift of giving. A lot of times you think, oh, I'm doing this and it's only for others to feel fulfilled and empowered and sustained, but it actually fills you up spiritually. So that's why it's the key to unlocking just a life of success.
So, the fulfillment that you get from helping other people, seeing other lives change, is that what you're saying?
Both.
Okay.
Both. And I think the point that I always teach on, I teach this workshop all over the country. I just flew in last weekend from Massachusetts teaching on this topic, is that when I was growing up, I was always taught, I grew up in a giving back family. However, it was always about picking up trash or serving in the soup kitchen and those things. That's great work. And I am so grateful for people who do that work. But that was not fulfilling and not my life calling.
Exactly.
But guess what? My passion for fashion, I can also give back in that realm too.
Yeah.
And so wherever your gift is, if it's in finance or you're in music or wherever your gift lies, there is some way you can give back and empower yourself, build a brand for yourself, but also help and sustain communities at the same time.
Okay.
Hi, Jada. I said Jada. Hi, Renita. This is Jada speaking.
Hi.
How easy is it to start using giving as a career and professional development tool?
Very easy. And so a lot of times, again, I was like, I'm not going to do this until I'm 60 years old. But if you look at it in 3 areas, in your social life, your learning and development life, and your leadership, you can hit all those points very seamlessly in what you do every day. And so through social, we're all going to have a girls' night or a guys' night. At the very least, everybody has a birthday, right?
Right.
Yes.
And so you're going to be having these celebratory times throughout the year. Why don't you look and see what restaurant is having give 10% back to an organization? This special menu is dedicated to an organization. You want to get your friends together and you say, let's exercise. There's several exercise for a cause, 5Ks you can do, boot camp challenges.
Right.
And then when you want to dress up and feel, real spiffy, get that red carpet experience and help people, buy a couple tickets to a gala, get dressed up, feel really great, have a night out, and you have helped somebody. You have empowered somebody just by having a good time. And so I challenge everybody, the next time you're going to go out and spend money, think of how can I spend this to actually empower somebody
else. Awesome. So,
absolutely. Same thing with shopping, Every store has shopping for a cause. And so we just came off of a great promotion with Talbot, where there was a special line created with Oprah and O Magazine just for Talbot. And so a percentage of the sale went back to the organization, as well as people were able to donate in the stores. So it's a win-win all around.
Right. Now that's interesting.
Yes, and I love Talbot.
Yeah, I love shopping.
I love shopping too. Oh my God.
So it's good. So Social Nita, how did you come up with that, and exactly what all can people expect to experience when they visit that site?
Absolutely. So I was always told, oh, you're a socialite. You're always at this place. You're taking pictures with this person. You are that person. You are a socialite. And I said, okay. But my nickname, always growing up, is Nita. And so I kind of combined the two. And I said, this is interesting, Social Nita. But I took it a step further, and I said, let me look up the root meaning of this. And it was very interesting that Nita means giving back in the Urban Dictionary. There's an Urban Dictionary out there.
I know.
That means you refer to it quite often.
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So, it's about empowering in a community. And so I said, that is me. Social Nita.
Social
and
Nita.
so it just works.
That's right. So it's a blog, and you share all of everything that you're involved in on that site?
Absolutely. And so it's just a platform to share everything that I have going on,
Okay.
as well as a connection, a platform to connect all my social platforms.
Okay.
So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that is the portal there. Soon we'll be having an ebook that is launching there.
Oh, wow.
So it's a great platform to just keep connected with me and all the giving activities that I'm a part of, and hopefully I'll be coming to a city near you.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, you said Nina, that's what my grandkids call me. I didn't know that that was the meaning for that word. Man, but it fits me.
Nita, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell it?
Hers is Nita.
Oh, mine's is
Nina.
Nena.
Oh, yeah, she's Nita. With
Yeah,
the
oh,
ta.
Nita. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was Nina.
Mm-mm.
Oh, maybe it's my cold. My sinus cold has got me
It's
messed
both
up.
ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sinus cold.
Okay, on top of it all, you're a professional empowerment speaker and host a book club. Host a book club. How does that come about?
Yes.
And what are some of the topics you do tackle when you believe that you believe would be useful to an audience of women?
Absolutely. Empowering women first is about finding your passion and purpose. I think that is truly my calling of helping people to find that and discover that. I think we miss out as adults after we get out of college or high school. We're like, I don't need to read another book again in life.
Right.
But in order to grow yourself, you're going to have to pick up a book and not be scared of the written word. And so that's what we do in the book clubs, is getting everybody together and kind of seeing what are the pain points everybody is experiencing, and aligning those with what is out there that we can tap into. Women authors, African-American authors, and business books is what we mostly focus on.
And you know what I want to ask is that one of my girlfriends, Krista, she's an amazing writer, and we were talking this morning, and she was telling me about journaling, something that she has always encouraged me to do that I'm going to start doing. And she was just saying how therapeutic it is to journal, and how she goes back in her journals and see where she was and where she is now. So I'm definitely going to start doing that. How empowering do you think it is when you journal? Do you journal?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's life-changing.
Really?
I think as a leader and a person of influence and creative people, we're all creative souls in some regards.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get our thoughts out of our mind and on paper. And so that gives you the platform to do so. I look back in some of my journals and I've written one word. Something inspired me, and I go back to it 3 years later, and I'm like, that's it.
I'm going to start
Yeah, that's what she said. So that's one of the things that I said if I end up going on the retreat, because I have another friend, Trina, that journals. That I'm going to buy a journal, and I'm going to start doing that. And that's one of the things that my therapist recommended to go when she said, you need to go to a hotel room, find some solitude, be by yourself, and just start writing things down. And sometimes you begin purging. Like some of my friends will start writing, like my friend Trina, she'll start crying because she's just pouring herself out on paper. So I think that I am going to try that. I just wanted to see what your thought was about that.
Absolutely. And another nugget you just said is getting to a hotel room by yourself.
Yes.
People are so afraid of that. Having that alone time to be able to think and sort out and plot and really be in tune to what your next direction should be is so powerful, and we have to do it. We're so busy. We're working a 9 to 5, then we're on social media. We're trying to build a hustle, and you're like, oh, I'm so clouded, I can't launch this, because you haven't taken the time to lock yourself in a hotel room. Exactly. 2 years ago, I did it, and it's has been life-changing.
And, I did that for the first time last year because I went to a retreat. And I didn't sleep well, but I did it. I'm like, all these 57 years, I've never been in a hotel room by myself. It was a very weird experience. I mean, it was exhilarating, but it was just weird at the same time because I didn't know really what to do with myself and how to enjoy that time by myself in a hotel room. So it was just, I mean, it was a growing moment, but it was just, it made me feel funny. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, wow. But I'm definitely going to do it again though.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, this is Justin again. What is next for you, and how can people stay in contact with you?
Absolutely. We've got a lot going on. I have a couple of books that are coming out. One will be about just living a successful life built on the giving platform. So I'll be talking more about that. I'll also be launching a free ebook before the book launches, so everyone can get some free content from me.
That's
so please
it's always
visit
good.
Absolutely free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Socialnita.com to get that and sign our list so we can stay in contact with everyone. I'm speaking all over the country, and I am putting out in the atmosphere I want to go worldwide, and so stay in contact with me socially and on the website so you can find out my schedule of where I'm going to be next.
Awesome.
And just continue to grow the platform of giving. So many times people they've been working their career and they're stuck. They've been doing the same thing for 20 years and they're stuck and they don't know why. And they're saying, well, maybe I should start this business, but I don't know because I've been doing this thing for 20 years and that's all I am. And you've got to take time to discover your passion and your purpose. And the best way to start to discover what is that passion and purpose is to start giving back to others. Right. And when you get that warm feeling in your soul and in your belly, you'll know this is my passion and what I should be doing.
That is exactly right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. And people can contact you at socialnita.com, correct? That's where they can see all of that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys, so much.
No problem.
This was awesome. You're going to have to invite us to one of your events in Florida. We would love to come down and hang out, right?
Yeah. Especially if it's 80-something degrees.
Right. Yeah. And we can do a little shopping, too, so.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
We're going to take a quick break and come back with some hot topics and then close out the show. So we'll be right back and listen to Let's Face It. Stay tight.
Listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and friend. We'll be right back.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Listen, my life changed because someone was there to get me to use drugs. No one can understand whether or not they've struggled with addiction themselves. people seem to think that having someone who will listen is gonna help make it better. I'm realizing that I need help.
I'm listening.
I need help. I'm realizing that I think that having someone who will listen is going to help make it better. Whether or not they've struggled with addiction themselves, people seem to understand. No one can get me to use drugs. My life changed because someone was there to listen.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
You're now listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and friends. Now back to the show.
All right, we're back to the show. So we have a few more topics. I want to talk to you. I have this situation. Tell me what you would do. So if you met someone wonderful and things are going great, maybe you've even gotten engaged. then you go to an event and the person introduces you to their friend that they haven't seen in forever, or one of their frat brothers or sorors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the person is someone that you used to have sex with. How do you handle it? Do you tell your boyfriend or girlfriend, or do you just leave it in the past?
I wouldn't be like, oh, by the way, we used to bump uglies. You understand what I'm saying?
You say you wouldn't?
Why would I? What is the reason why I should share that?
Well, to me, you should. The reason being, if you don't share it, I'm pretty sure that person gonna pull your significant other to the side and say, I used to hit that. So I believe I would come on.
That is kind of guy talk. Or maybe he may tell somebody else and they may get back.
Yeah, before he gets back.
And then how would you handle that if they said, why didn't you tell me?
Because you're not telling me everybody that you hit in the past. So why do I need to tell you that? That's where everybody get it twisted and be in a struggle bus. That was in the past. That had nothing remotely to do with you. Because I don't care who you were bumping uglies with in the past. So why do you care who I was bumping uglies with in the past? And I didn't tell you that.
Why is it ugly?
I don't know. It's just, that I have like bad sayings.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, why would I share it? And then when I share it, then it's gonna mess your mind up, because then you're gonna be wondering
you can't handle
what you can't handle. What did you love her? How many times did you do it? Did you feel anything when you saw him again? Y'all gonna try to hook up again? You understand what I'm saying? It could be just such.
I understand them both hands. I think if it happened to me and I wasn't told, I think I would feel some kind of way.
Why?
Because I would feel like you was. Why would you trying to keep it from me?
But why do you?
And then I would have the questions. You must still like that person. You still.
Yeah, but why? But then once you found out, what are you gonna do with the information? What? How is it gonna benefit you?
But if they best friends, or they close friends?
It would keep me from being embarrassed if they try to call that out.
Yeah.
I can say I already knew that.
But that's a traveling person anyway. Why would you call it out? That was something in the past. So I'm just going to go around the corner and be like, yo, I see my girls over there and I used to. But see, I'm finding out. I'm glad that you mentioned that. I am finding out that guys, which I'm just shocked about, because they're supposed to both be so macho and all this other stuff, gossip and start so much drama. I'm finding out that men love drama.
It's a different type of drama.
It's a different type.
No, it's a different type. No, it is. Because
why would you do that?
It just letting somebody know, oh, I hit that in my friend.
No, because it's an ego testosterone.
It could be that guy's code too. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
The guy's code. That you wouldn't mess with somebody else's girl.
That's not your girl. You slept with her 15 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, that goes back to my question. I've always said, would you date somebody that your friend used to date? That might be, a deal breaker for somebody. Oh, because you used to talk to my boy or whatever, we can't kick it.
True. Because that is like a code of honor.
Yeah.
Like, even though I may have feelings for you, but you dated my friend Betsy.
See, I don't have an issue with that.
But me either, because if
but
that
they
person
didn't know.
if that person makes you happy, go ahead. I'm not gonna be mad at you because you started dating.
It's not like they're all in the same circle or something.
You started dating my friend. You see what I'm saying? Because you guys had chemistry. We broke up. It didn't work. So I'm gonna hold you fast just because I dated you and that's my friend, that you can't date my friend. What do I care?
What do you think?
That means that you still have feelings for that person.
Would you want to be told, or?
Well, I don't. I mean, it depends. It's all circumstances, because the way y'all making it seem like, oh, it just came up all of a sudden, and it's like you don't even really talk to that friend that much anyway. If you just seeing them and they just know that, it seems like it shouldn't be a problem, and they're not in the same circle and whatnot. I don't see. Right, that's the way y'all making it seem. But if they were like in the same circle and that's like not your best friend, but somebody you see all the time, then that might be a problem. But it seems like it wouldn't even matter because you don't see that person all the time anyway.
It was just every once in a while you came over and broke me off some. You know what I mean? And it's no longer, and that happened like 5 years ago. That was our relationship. Should I explain that to you?
Me personally.
Me personally.
I would. Still.
Justin, you
no,
hold
on. No. Even
Mr.
if
holier than thou.
No, it's not holier than thou, but if they in some kind of group together or whatnot, 9 times out of 10 it's going to get back to the individual that you did it with that person.
But why is that going to change your?
No,
it's not going to make you feel any different towards Will.
No, it's not. But
well, wait a minute now.
No,
because you ain't tell me. But okay, we'll wait. Go ahead.
Hold on. Don't let nothing tell you. I'm just saying now, if we run out to somebody and I say, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 or if he sees somebody, at least tell me, oh, I used to fool with that person, instead of they going around telling some folks that I might know and it might get back to me that you feel with that person.
And then
I'm
you look
ask you,
stupid.
why you bring this person in my face smiling like it's all y'all just friends? And he came back and told my friend y'all slept together and we hee ha ha and you ain't tell me none of this. So I could have said, yeah, I've been knew that, so that my friends come to tell me, you know your boyfriend slept with such and such, and he didn't tell you this, then you looking stupid.
So you're saying that you need to tell
I would say not the details, but at least that there was some type of interaction, so you aren't caught off guard.
Yeah, I mean, if you see it in that way, then yeah, I guess you can tell them.
I
still don't think it's that important of a factor.
Yeah, because now you're saying, so now you tell me that we're in the same circle, we're hanging out, but we have mutual respect for one another. We don't have any feelings for each other anymore. So now the thing is going to come out, well, you must still, y'all laughing and y'all cool, you still must have feelings for him. No, we're mature adults, and that's what we did in the past. We're cool, but I don't have feelings for him like that. Well, you must, because you smiling and y'all laughing and stuff, and y'all was bumping uglies back in the day. And so, you know, you
overthinking it. Because if they was honest with you,
I'm an overthinker anyway.
If they was honest with you and told your friend, you know it's nothing that they're hiding.
So you're not gonna ask any more questions.
No, if you just tell me what happened,
the next question gonna be like, well, how was it? Is he better than me? Then it's gonna be one question after the next.
No. See, once again, you overthinking it because this is me. If you hiding it from me and then it got back to me.
Why is it hiding and I just decided that I didn't want to tell you? I made a decision that I didn't want to say. I'm not hiding it. I'm just telling you I made a conscious decision that I didn't want to share that with you. I don't have to. Don't put me in a box like I'm hiding something. I made a decision that I don't want to tell you. And that's my right. But you wanna make it like, oh, well, you trying to keep it from me, this and this, and now it's a whole nother thing. No. I made a decision that part of my life is over, and I don't want to share with anybody. It's my life. It's my right to do that.
It's your right. Just explain it when they ask you.
Am I wrong?
Would you explain it if they ask?
I mean, if you ask me,
okay.
maybe.
Okay. All right. We're gonna agree to
disagree.
I can agree on both ends. I'm more lean towards the fact that I would definitely want to know, and then just that other side of me might ask for details. But that's just
that's what I'm talking about.
That's that little devil in me. But you know.
I want some details a little bit.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, now listen to this. The relationship has lost its luster. We kind of touched on this earlier, but you're comfortable. You have kids, house, cars, investments, all shared. Mm-hmm. You met someone that makes you feel loved. They ask you to leave home and start over with them. What do you do?
Crickets.
Wait.
Crickets.
Explain it again.
The relationship has lost its luster, but you're comfortable. You have kids, house, cars, investments, all shared. You meet someone that makes you feel loved, and they ask you to leave home and start over with them. What do you do?
I mean, you have to do what your heart.
Do you leave comfort?
Yeah.
The security of comfort for you do?
Yeah, and this is the reason why. So, you got a married.
She's cracking me up like she's so old.
No, because this is like I do research on stuff like this. This type of stuff interests me because like all the divorce rates and whatnot. I like looking into statistics and stuff. So you have this family right here. They're really unhappy. They're arguing all the time. What do you think that that's showing the kids? So if they split apart and they're happy together, that's going to be a more positive thing for the kids. So then they're going to come up and be right instead of just being in a toxic place where they see mom and dad argue all the time. So I think that if they want to part separate ways, they should do that.
So you agree that when people say we stuck together for the kids, that's not
that's not really good for the kids at all. Financially, maybe okay, I see that part. But if you can financially be on your own and you can be happy, go ahead.
But what if you still have feelings for that person?
See, now
and
that's
what if
different.
you don't have any kids and you still have feelings for that person?
Which person? The person that
your spouse.
Okay.
And then that person is saying, you meet somebody that's making you feel this way. Should you leave? Should you work it out? Should you see if there's a spark there? You know what I'm saying? Because you can go to the, because the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Right.
Okay.
And that has been proven more times than none. So it looks good, it feels good, but everything that glitters is not gold. So I'm going to go over there. You understand? And then come to find out that's really not what I want, because you always have to learn, and I'm a believer of the dark side. You're showing me all the good stuff, but I still don't know your dark side. And then when I go to know that, I was like, I'm already familiar with this dark side over here, so I should have just stayed over here. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, but then and again, you could go over there and it could be like magic. It's just a risk.
I mean, I feel like you just got to put thought into stuff like that.
Even when you put thought into it, it may not work.
Right.
But
you're right. It can still not work.
I believe every relationship go through is ups and downs. I don't think you should just bail out because you may have a low point within those couple of months or years or something. Because you can go to this other relationship that you so in love with, you get over there a couple years down the line, you're going through the same thing. What you going to do? Keep on bailing out every time somebody show you more love than the person that's with you.
A friend of mine told me that when you've had enough.
Yes.
And I think even in my situation, it wasn't when I ended a relationship, it wasn't the worst time we had been through. It just got to a point where you know that you've had enough. And whether it was something severe, it wasn't even really something, in retrospect, it wasn't even anything severe. It's just you get tired of something.
Right, and that's what my, when I discussed with Stephanie, and we were talking about, she tells me different scenarios about different relationships and stuff. It may not be something that's really traumatic that happens.
Yeah.
It could just be that one thing that just sends you totally over the edge, and you don't even really see it coming. You just like have an out of body experience. You know what I mean? Because it gets to be too much. You just have like this mental meltdown, breakdown. You know what I mean? And you have to get away for a second to try to regroup and get your own mental state together. Then one of the questions I want to ask you is, abuse is terrible anyway, but what, and I did research on this, what do you think is worse, mental abuse or physical abuse?
Mental.
Why?
Because it sticks with you far past the bruises healing, especially verbal abuse. And they usually prey on people who already have low self-esteem. So to compound that with that emotional and that verbal abuse,
I agree with that 100%.
That sticks with you far past any black eye healing or anything.
Because they can hit you, knock you down, and all that. You can get back up and be stronger from that. They're calling you ugly, you fat, you this, you that. It stays in your memory, and you'll think nobody wants you because of that. So it's more worse than you hitting me. Because those words, I'm going to always remember. Every time I look at you, because once you keep on hitting me, I'm going to get stronger, and I'm going to start fighting you back, and your hitting ain't going to do nothing to me. But your words is the last thing that I'm hearing from you. And those are the last things you're hearing, you ugly. So I think anything that comes as physical abuse, it lasts longer than mental abuse lasts longer than physical abuse.
Verbal. Well, really, when I said verbal.
Yeah, you 100%. Like what he said, keep on hearing that, you're going to believe it.
Because people think that, verbal abuse goes away just like physical abuse. but it really doesn't
Takes a lot of
because
time.
it takes a lot of time, but it wears you down. It chips away at you little by little by little by little. And when I did the research on it, I was like, wow, this is so true. And a lot of women say that verbal abuse is 10 times worse than physical abuse.
Yes.
I wanted to, you guys did a great job answering that question.
Thank you. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on the show. I have my final question for you before my nose totally collapses.
And I start coughing again.
Yeah. What have you been surprised to discover about yourself? I hear you, Jada. What have you been surprised to discover about yourself? I'm Justin.
Who going first? I didn't even think about it.
I thought you were
Y'all thinking?
Ladies go
Okay,
first.
what? Tell me again.
What have you been surprised to discover about yourself? Yours should be very obvious.
Mine should be just I'll say inner strength.
Okay.
Making decisions for myself without repercussion, I'm going to say, and it makes you feel good. Was that a good answer?
It's yours.
I don't.
It's kind of
See, I don't
generic,
know.
kind of hallmarkish, but
it was
kind of evasive, but you know.
Okay, I'm gonna try to piggyback on it. Go ahead.
I'm still discovering things about myself. I don't even know what. I mean, I know where I am at this point, but to answer that question fully, you got to come back another couple months. You'll get a better one.
Okay.
Because now I'm still figuring it out.
Some good stuff I discovered about myself. I'm ambitious. I'll fight for what I want, and I don't give up.
There you go.
Go ahead, Justin.
Justin was good.
Yes,
that was good.
That was good, Justin.
That was good. That was good.
Okay, and because you two failed, I'm going to give you another answer.
Wow.
What's the one thing that people always misunderstand about you?
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
I think people say that I'm bossy.
Bossy.
I don't.
You are. Oh my God, you are.
You tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm not bossy. I'm just. I think that I don't know. I think one of the things is that I'm an overthinker, and I think that I get misunderstood because I say too much trying to explain myself, and when I do that, it puts me on a struggle bus.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that I get misunderstood because I'm trying to really get you to understand my point.
Right.
And I need to use less words, and but I want to make sure that I have a clear understanding. So I get misunderstood a lot because I probably say too much.
Okay, that's good.
So for me, since I was like the baby of the family, like I was kind of spoiled. I kind of still am now. So people think that everything, if something doesn't go my way, like I go crazy. I used to do that, but now it's like I see a lot of different things in a different perspective now since I've gotten away. And people think that it's still that way, and it's not. They be ready for me to react a specific way if something doesn't go the right way, and it's like, oh, okay. And then it just shows a sign of growth, I guess.
Well, I answered my question correct.
Yeah, I still want to know.
With me, I think people think that the reason why I have what I have now is because I'm spoiled, and actually I worked hard for what I have.
You did. When I first met you, I thought you were spoiled. I thought you were, but I see that you really, for 26, you are really ambitious and you work a lot. You will have to be. You need to keep that going.
Oh my God.
Just to let you know.
So what about you, sir?
They think that I'm stuck up or standoffish.
Yes.
When I'm shy, I'm not stuck up at all.
Huh?
I'm not stuck up.
You shy?
I'm shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm very shy.
You stuck up, yeah.
I'm not stuck up.
Just a little.
Well, just a little bit.
Just the thing, my self-esteem is lower than what it should be.
To me, I think
I'm always self-critical about myself. I'm not stuck up at all. I'm too fat. My stomach too big. My eyes.
Baby.
What?
When me and you at home, you're not stuck up to me, but you kind of a little bit.
Okay,
Just a little.
I'll talk to you at
Just
home.
a little.
Good.
That tongue of his.
Whatever. Jada, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate you so much. Next week we have Mr. Eric Lynn from The Voice. He's going to be on the show.
Yay,
Eric Lynn.
And Ivory Burton, she's coming on from Achi to talk about the conference coming up on the week of May, I think 18th.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Because aren't you part of that?
I am getting an award. I'm going to be one of the first men that get an award from Achi. I think it's the Men Who Love Women Award. And then I'm going to be hosting the fashion show on the 8th.
Justin and I are going to be right there, front row seat, cheering you on.
And then the kidney walk is on May 19th. So that's a
I'm
whole
really excited. We are so excited about the kidney walk.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm so proud of you putting it together. You're going to be speaking, keynote speaker. I'm really super stoked, excited about that.
I'm excited. So
I can't wait to get my T-shirt.
Yeah. So make sure you tune in next week, everybody. Be blessed, and I love you.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
Thank you for listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Please be sure to visit us on the web at letsfaceitradio.com and at Let's Face It Radio on Facebook for the latest in show information and exciting, innovating ways that you can be a part of the show. So tune in next week, same place, same time, for real people, real topics, real talk. Let's face it.